Commence. Call it to order, I should say. All right. Do we have any public comments?
There were no public comments emailed to us. No.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to the minutes. So I guess first do we have a motion to pass the minutes? To accept the minutes?
Yes, I didn't see anything that was incorrect.
Do we have a second? Mary. Okay, and any discussion? You didn't see anything. There was one minor thing. I don't know. It's like just being very little nitpicky under where you talk about the pool. The last sentence where it says John adds Key Beecher Adaptive Swim. So it's just the Beecher Adaptive Swim, minor. And then in outdoor facilities, John mentioned that he has someone at the playground. I guess the discussion was to monitor the playground, right? So I was just thinking maybe, I don't know if that's what was said, that they're at the playground to monitor the playground.
To monitor the playground.
Yes,
Okay.
that's it. To monitor the playground and make sure people are conforming to the mask rules and regulations.
Yeah, conforming to everything. And I didn't see anything else. It was minor. Any other about the minutes?
No.
Okay. We're missing some people, but everyone who was here was there for the night of the minutes, for that last meeting. All in favor of passing the minute of approving the minutes, say, raise your hand. Yeah, that's best. Okay. Aye. No one abstained. All right. Moving along. Liaison report. Mika, do you have a report for us? Oh, and Jane is here. Great.
Good. Unmute in order to speak.
I'm going to.
I'm sorry?
Sorry, I just muted myself so it doesn't echo.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm not at my office, so I don't have my notes, but at the last meeting, we did approve the tent, which was very directly related to the recreation department. After reviewing exactly where the new location was and the costs associated with it, I don't know, John or Andrea, if there have been any more developments. I did see a letter going from the first selectman's office or from you folks actually, but through the selectman's office to Brian Pine, just to get their approval, I guess, or at least make them aware of what was going on. Aside from that, obviously there was the normal activity as far as the selectmen. I don't know if anyone has any questions. I can certainly respond to that, but I don't have a copy of the agenda in the minutes as I usually do. So, and I apologize.
Quick question, Mika.
Please.
So the Board of Selectmen approved the location and the funding, but it's the land trust that has to make the final decision?
I don't think it's a final decision. I believe, Mike, I'm not 100% sure on this, but my understanding is that it is the Board of Selectmen's decision to approve it and have it be there. However, it is because it's a leggy property, the law is involved, similar to what they did with the playground. I don't know that if they say no, that can stop it from happening, but I'll check on it with Beth's office and Tony and just make sure. But it is something that I know we had to notify the land trust of what was the plan there. John and Andrew, I don't know if you have any additional information on that.
Yeah, I talked with Beth, and Beth said that it was just protocol to advise them like this, come in and then have them come make their decision, and the Board of Selectmen decision, she said, would override that. Whatever it is, the decision is there, but they wanted to make sure that they knew what was going on. There's nothing structurally going on there except for putting this, that thing can come down and, want to take it down tomorrow, you take it down tomorrow. And nothing's going to impact the grounds or anything. We're not digging, we're not doing anything we're just putting up the,
And my understanding was that was the key, that it was a temporary structure, it's nothing that's permanent, so it wasn't like
Right,
that.
it's a temporary-
For example, TPZ and get the approvals there.
right, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. And the covering for the tent will only be up for 6 months and come down and stay down, and then it goes back up. So it'll go up in like May and come down in October after the road race. And the structure stays up, but then the structure can be taken down at any time, just disassembled and removed, and you wouldn't even know we were there.
The other activity, I know that there was a good amount of discussion as relates to the old firehouse, and it's also relates to you folks, obviously. There was discussion as to the cost of the shed. The original cost of the shed for the fire department was pretty significant. And there was a discussion as to whether or not that funding for that portion of it, the funding for the added expense associated with the actual the old firehouse itself, and the roof for Beecher, and the work that needs to be done for renovations over at the senior center are all part of a package that Beth is putting together, the Selectman's office putting together specifically for funding and to go to referendum. Included in that is the cost of the structure required for storage to move all of the existing fire department equipment out of the old firehouse. The cost of that structure initially was very, very expensive. They're paring it down significantly. And there was a discussion as an option as to whether or not we retain at least one bay in the old firehouse for the fire department to continue to store some of their stuff, which would obviously come to a lesser cost because you would need a smaller storage area across the street at the fire department. I think everybody agrees that the preferable thing would be to see the structure at the firehouse be there. But the cost was of concern to a number of the selectmen, few of the selectmen. So we kind of tabled that for the time being for further consideration. But those are the options. I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but there was an option that included potential of keeping some of the fire department equipment at the old firehouse and renovating the remaining portion of that firehouse as described. Additionally, just recently, it was the Amity school system did indicate that they would not be using the old firehouse for one of their programs that we had hoped would kind of bring in some additional revenue and thereby kind of cut or reduce the overall cost associated with what we were doing with the old firehouse. That also has an impact on it. So things have kind of in flux in terms of the old firehouse there, and it'll probably be delayed again until the next meeting in February. Although we do have a couple of special meetings come out, and maybe it'll be on the agenda of one of those meetings. Any questions?
Mika, do we know why the school's not going to end up using that space?
My understanding, Andrea, is that it's very specifically because they're currently at the college, Albertus Magnus College environment, and obviously they're on what's considered the campus at Albertus Magnus. The folks the people in the program itself are of college age in terms of their physical age, and they feel that it's a very conducive environment for those folks because they're surrounded by people who are more their age than necessarily what would be the case if they were as part of the high school or closer to the high school. And it's broader, and obviously the firehouse is by itself. So they felt that just from a program standpoint, that the kids might continue to benefit more if the program remained at Albertus as opposed to moving to the firehouse. I believe there may be some additional discussion on that. I know that there was some degree of misunderstanding in terms of final decisions on that. So my understanding is that there should be some additional discussion, but that was the last official position that I was aware of. So that was a considerable piece of the overall plan, because it was a good amount of money that would then be going toward the town, and in essence saved by the town of Woodbridge, because they would be paying a lease, if you will. It's one pocket to the other kind of thing, but it would still kind of defray the overall costs of the renovations associated with that building.
Okay, thank you, Mika. Yeah, I thought that was one of the few plans that was like a fait accompli, that was like a definite, but there's nothing definite.
Another wrinkle.
Yeah.
So, but I do feel like the intent is for us to make a decision sooner rather than later as relates to the overall disposition of the firehouse, the old firehouse, so that we can move forward with that project. It's a good time for borrowing, and it's a good time for construction, and that could change as time goes on. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Okay, well,
Any
thank
questions?
you. No other questions?
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much, Mika. Also, I understand, Mika, you are not planning to run again in the next election. Is this premature to talk about this?
No, I think I think most folks know it is true. I'm not on this slate. There is a different slate for the coming elections in May.
Right. So I just wanted to thank you for your dedication, and I feel that you've always brought our voice to the meetings, which is so important. And thank you for always really representing us and bringing our questions to the board, and as well feeling that you're bringing our concerns. So you've done a tremendous job.
Yeah, I agree with Andrea. You have really supported us a lot and brought our concerns to the Board of Select.
Thank you both. I appreciate that. I wish I could have done more, believe me. I wish I could have done more.
I third the notion as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mika. One person can only do so much, but I really feel that you've always got our backs, and you're very committed to the rec mission. So thank you.
The rec certainly represents, and everybody who's working on rec are so dedicated and passionate about what they're doing. It's not hard to get behind them and support what you do. You do seem to take into consideration when we talked about the budget. I know there's been some pieces that I've heard, but you've always been very conscientious about what you do and how you do it, and what you go after and what you don't go after. So it's certainly a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to work with you folks, because you do operate in that way, and that's pretty important in a municipality like ours, where most of the money we get is directly from the residents who live here.
Yeah, thank you, and you've provided a lot of guidance to us to help us with those budget issues, and to really help us to sort of look at the big picture. I think I know John has integrated a lot of the ideas that you've brought forth, and it's been a very, very good collaboration. I think so. I think we all feel that way. For those of us who spoke, it's yeah, we appreciate, but we don't have to say goodbye to you yet, right, Mika? You'll be joining us for other meetings prior to your.
I will. Indeed, I will.
Good. Yeah, thank you. I had one follow-up question, which I think you brought to the attention. I'm not sure if anyone's worked on it. The gazebo, I just remembered when I was looking at the minutes that the areas of the gazebo that have been, beginning to decay and rot a little bit, and wondered if if, I'm not sure if it's Public Works or if anyone has,
I believe it's the parks. It's Adam, and it was
Oh,
brought to his
Parks.
attention. I did reach out to him directly, as a matter of fact. So I know that I understand that they went out there and they looked at it. I don't
Okay.
know if necessarily any, repair has been started on it or anything along those lines, but my understanding in it, and I did talk to Tony and as well on it. So they're aware of there being a concern. And I'll find out. I'll find out this week so I can report next time and let you know.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's like a little preventive, it can save money, I guess, in the end for the town if it's addressed earlier rather than later, as we all know, and things spin out of control. So thank you for bringing that to their attention. It's good that they've looked. That's a good start.
And just for the record, my one last big thing is to see about a color printer, Teresa.
Ooh. Did you hear that, Teresa?
No problem.
Okay, but we heard it. It's on the record. On the record. Good. Thank you, Mika.
Is it about my color printer?
Yes. Yes.
Indeed.
Did you hear what Mika said?
No, I'm sorry, my headset cut out.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mika.
No, I just said if there's one last thing I can do, it'll be about getting a color printer for you folks, for those programs and those flyers that you're putting together.
Dreams do come true. It might not be a 70-foot diamond, but it is a colored printer.
90-foot diamond.
90 foot. I'm close enough. Hey, I do the water part. I don't do the land part. That's Mr. Adam Woodbridge.
That's great. Okay, Mika, we're gonna be, well, Teresa will be following up, I'm sure, about that. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. Anything else from you, Mika, or any other questions?
Nope, not on my side. Thanks.
Okay. In terms of my report, I just I guess we hadn't met since the new year. So happy, healthy new year to all. And I don't know, I hope people are feeling hopeful about the year ahead. It's nice that vaccines are beginning to become available, and hopefully that process will speed up. And for those who would like to access that they'll be able to access that and, protect yourselves and loved ones. And I want, it's really, I guess my statement is really a wish that you're all meeting the challenges necessary to stay safe and keep yourself and your loved ones safe as a whole. I know COVID-19 has gotten very close to home for many of us, and I guess we need to continue to do as much as we can do to stay safe. It's good to see our rec leaders with their masks and the visors, which is about, protecting each other and taking care of each other. So we, as a community and as individuals, need to continue to do what we can to stave off COVID and keep everyone healthy. And rec has a big responsibility, I think, in this mission. Rec is, when I say rec, it's like John and Jim and John DeMeo and Teresa and everyone else, the background people, the backbones of rec. I think you've all worked really hard on continuing to provide whatever programming is possible, whether it be the long distance learning, which has been going on since the very beginning of COVID-19. And I know, Teresa, you've worked very hard on this, and it continues. And the camp options, swimming, the swimming pool had opened and then it shut for a bit, but it's back open on weekends for adults. There have been some outdoor sports activities where the masks are being worn and cautions are being taken. and as well, there's been virtual programming. You know, Bill Bannock's continued to do yoga throughout, outside when it was warmer, and virtually all the time. It's like you didn't miss a beat. And so I think Rec has been really good about supporting these programs that can continue on. I know there's some indoor sport that's going to be starting up, and again, just I guess at any point, if we see numbers increase, we need to pull back. But we're all keenly aware of that, and I know John and Jim and John are working closely with the powers that be to make sure we're meeting all the necessary requirements and precautions. So we just keep chugging along and doing our thing and being creative. And I know you'll be talking about some creative ideas, new ideas. So just once again, really want to thank everyone in Rec for the work you do, and that in a time where people are feeling health is such a concern, once again, Rec is pulling their weight to bring healthy options to keep us active, to keep us as involved in the community and programming as possible. So thank you. Yeah. Smith, do you have a report for us as our vice chair?
Sure. I was very first in matter of what you were talking about. I was very excited to get my first vaccine last week, but it put me out for a couple days, so I didn't have a very good reaction to it. But I'm a little tentative about going back and get my second one, but we'll see what happens. So I'm hoping for the best on that.
Please do it. Go for it. If you need me to bring you soup or whatever, I will. We'll cheer you on.
Smith,
Yes.
Joe Michael had his second shot, I guess, yesterday, and everything went fine.
Okay.
He said the second shot was better than the first.
Okay.
So hang in there.
Okay, thank you. It's got to be better than my first one. So, I've been talking to John and Jim and John about a idea that sort of my son had, and I kind of followed up with them last week and 2 weeks ago about something that we're going to do this spring, and it's a Woodbridge recreation scavenger hunt in the town. So, oh, what is that, John? Let me see. Oh, okay. So, oh, nice. So the idea of the scavenger hunt is twofold. Wow, look at all those prizes. The idea of the scavenger hunt is twofold. Number one is to get people outside as a family, hiking and going outside through town. And the second goal is to get people into the rec department and possibly sign up for some more programs. So we haven't come up with an exact date yet, but we wanted to get past sort of this presentation tonight just to run it by you first, and then we would talk about a date. So the idea is Jim has gathered small little medallions that were former awards for the road race. And we have about 30 of those. And we're going to be putting a little sticker on the back of them. And then we're going to be hiding them throughout the town. And we will note on the Facebook page that there's going to be one day that the families can go out and try to find them. So they'll be on the trails, they'll be under benches, there'll be different places around town. And then once the kids or families find them, they bring them back to the rec department. And Jim and John will give them a prize like that. That may include a water bottle or some other giveaway from the recreation department. And so that is going to be at some point in March, maybe, but we wanted pencils and other stuff.
Booklets. We have everything in here. We're going to make packets. This way, we don't have to have them come in. What they do is they call, they win, they bring. We'll have outside in front of recreation a bucket to drop your winning medallion in, and then we'll receive this, and we'll throw in some of the recreation stuff that's coming up.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Our office is doors are still locked, so.
I'm sorry, Jim?
Well, because our doors are still locked. You know, so no public coming.
No
in yet,
public's
so
allowed
they'll
in
have to
building,
Make
you
good
know.
arrangements, they could pick it up somehow.
Yeah. And then go online to sign up for programs. This is a great idea.
So at some point in March, and then we want to sort of make sure it's not going to snow. And we want to make sure it's not going to be too muddy on the trails. But I recruited a couple of my son's friends' families to go out and hide them. So we're going to go like on a Thursday evening or Friday afternoon after school and go put them through. We're going to sort of have a plan where we want them to go. And then we're going to get Jim and John a list of where they are. So they'll have, you know, say they bring in number 4, and we know that's underneath the bench at the green. They'll bring it back and they'll show number 4, and then we'll know where that was. And we'll know where the other ones are. So there'll be maybe about 30 or so. Is that about right, Jim? About what we have?
Yeah, we have a lot of medals, to be honest with you. So whatever you want to decide, we have over 30. So
Okay.
you know.
Whatever you need, babe. We're here.
Okay. Thank you. So that's going to be the Woodbridge Scavenger Hunt coming up sometime probably in March.
That sounds great, Smith. I love the idea that it gets people out, and it's not a group activity. So we're not, you know, if families are doing it, they're already together. So it's not like they're going to be hordes of people. Is there going to be some sort of treasure map, or is there a way that are you going to sort of designate there could be these coins anywhere, or
Yes.
without giving it away, because if we have listeners, we don't want to give it away. But
Mike's going to be out searching.
that's
Real quick, are you guys familiar at all with geocaching?
Yes.
Okay, which is really, really a lot of fun. I did that a lot with my kids when they were little. I'm wondering if that model might also work.
Yes, we would have to get the GPS coordinates of each one.
Right.
So that's a little more maybe difficult than we might want to make the first one.
Okay.
But that's definitely something to think about too, because do you know what letterboxing is?
Yes.
So letterboxing is sort of the same. It just doesn't use the GPS system. But you can go online under letterboxing.com and look for different ones that are hidden in Woodbridge. There's probably like 10 or so that are hidden in Woodbridge.
Right.
So they're like little plastic containers with notebooks in them and pencils. And there's little trinkets that you can take, or you can leave something, or you basically write your name that you were there. So there's about 10 of those hidden in Woodbridge right now. So that's definitely something that we can consider later on is geocaching, but I sort of want to make it simple initially. But I also did.
No, I love the idea. I guess I'm just wondering, is it how, like Andrea was asking, you're just going to put them anywhere along the trail? I just wonder how hard it might be to find.
We're not giving you any clues, Mike.
So some of them might be easy, some of them might be more difficult. But
Okay.
I think there'll be a big variety of where and what they can find. Well, obviously all the medallions will be the same. But it's sort of be a variety. Is sort of our thought.
Okay. You're thinking about the spring.
Yes.
Okay, great.
yeah, that sounds really cool. So there's not really a treasure map.
It would not be a map. No. It would not be a map.
But there is an island,
There's an island,
a treasure island.
and you get voted. You get voted off.
You get voted off.
I think it sounds like a great idea. I think it's a really nice program to run. It's better than looking for I forget what it was, where people would be looking at their phones for the not Pokemon. What was it?
It was Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Yeah, and they'd walk around looking for. I like this. This is a little bit like you're here in reality, and you're looking for something, tangible. I think it's a great idea.
I can tell you from experience, it may also get some people like myself who know that there's trails, always talk about going on the trails, but never actually go on them until, through COVID, I've been on more trails in Woodbridge that I wish I'd have done 10 years ago because they're beautiful. They're beautiful, but this got me out to finally see them, and something like this might do the same because once you do experience it, you'll go back, you'll do it again.
And
So
I'll talk, Jim, do you have different colors of medallions, or are they all the same color?
Yeah, I think they're all the same colors though.
Okay.
Yeah, they were all the your participation ones from the fun run that were extra left over. So it's a gold medal. Has walkers on one side, and like I said, the new one says Woodbridge Fun Run on it in a year.
Perfect.
So that's what we have left over.
Okay, thank you. So thank you, Andrea.
Yeah, no, thank you. Is this anything we need to vote on, or I don't know that we do.
Sports thing.
Yeah,
This looks like a recreational sports thing. That's all.
it sounds great. Sounds great. Very creative, and thank you to Smith for younger Smith too for helping spearhead this.
It was sort of his idea, and I'm like, let's see what we can do with it. So
that is great. That is great.
Great. Next time we'll have to bring him on to present his ideas during public discussion. That's wonderful.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and let us know if you need any of our help with any of this. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Cool. Let's move on to the pool. Teresa, any pool news?
Everything is going great at the pool. We are having some people who don't show up. Well, what we're doing is people who call and tell us that they're not coming to their appointment. We started a waiting list, so we have people calling them to see if other people who are on the waiting list are currently interested in that time spot. We ask the patrons as they've been coming in to, if you do have to cancel, to please give us at least an hour to half an hour notice so we could notify someone else if there is if there's someone on the waiting list for it, and we offer up that time spot for them to try to keep every time spot full and utilized. And everything seems to be working really well. Everybody complies with that. Everybody again is compliant with any kind of rules or anything we ask them to do, and place is staying super clean and everyone's staying distanced, masks on, so everyone's doing a beautiful job.
Great to hear. And have many people missed their time slots? Does this happen very often?
Well, it matters. Sometimes the day can kind of get away from you, and they may have forgotten, or they may have ran out of time, because remember, you have to come right at that time, get scanned in, and get down to the pool. So if they haven't showed up, we give them a call and ask them if they are showing up. A couple, like if it's about that time, and if there's anybody that called in the morning, because some people have been calling the rec offices and in the morning, say, hey, if you have an open spot, let me know. But it's not a large number, no, not at all. But we just try to make as many spots available and make sure that we keep the pool full at all times, safely, obviously.
Sure. Good. Okay. Thank you. Any other questions from anyone about the pool?
Well, WAC will be resuming tomorrow night. So WAC will start their season again, start swimming in the pool.
Weather permitting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was exactly my question, because I knew we were past January 19th.
Yeah. How's this? We get no snow all year, but we're going to get it on so we'll have to see. We'll just play by ear. See how it goes.
I am sure there are kids that are wanting to get back to water.
I know it. That's why we got to get them in there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens with the snow. Are we supposed to get a lot?
No.
I heard 1 to 4 inches. I don't know.
Yeah.
Close to the shore, mixed, and then as it comes in, and as you go up higher in the state, to the corner of the state, you'll have 4 to 5 inches up there. But down our way, one inch, or mixed. We'll have to just see.
I think it's all inconvenient timing.
Inconvenient timing.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see what tomorrow brings. We have no personnel, right? I didn't see anything for personnel.
No personnel.
Okay. The tent, as we know, the presentation went well. John did a great job. Appreciate the support from the
Lieutenant-
staffman. Anything?
The tent went well, everything. I met with Adam. We have a perfect spot for it. It's going to be adjacent to the playground. It's going to be right there. We don't have to do anything to the ground. We've already ordered, we're going to be ordering the blocks. They call them mafia blocks. I don't know why, but that's what they call them. The blocks for each one so that we can hold it down like this. Then it'll be inspected and everything like this. And the reason why it's adjacent is that there's no way that children have to cross any parking lots or do anything. We just moved it from one side of the parking lot to the other. It's a safety thing. Adam came up with that and said it'd be much safer if we did it this way. And we'll put it up. We're looking for a trailer. We have to have a trailer. We need a trailer that holds the office and a trailer. The half of the trailer will be the nurse. There'll be two separate entrances. They'll be separated from each other with a doorway in between if you have to get inside to get to either one of them to use. And then a trailer. And we were talking about a trailer. So I talked to Adam today. I said, Adam, is there any possible way that we could use one of our trailers that we already own? He says, absolutely. So we're going to use one of our trailers for storage. Bring it over there and we'll have all our storage in there because at night we have to put everything away. Everything has to be put away over there and locked up. And we're going to have a generator because we're going to need air conditioning for the unit inside. So that has to be put away at night. And we won't have any cost at all. And Adam said it'll only cost you about maybe $150 to $200 to bring it over and the same thing to bring it back. He said the company will come and they'll move it and they can move it. You ask them one day and they'll be there in the afternoon. So we're all set. We're ready to go.
That's great. So I don't
and
know.
It's all temporary. Everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. Everything will be removed. At the end of the 6-week summer camp, as soon as summer camp is over, everything's packed up and out we go. And we won't be there. And then when we leave, we'll put picnic tables underneath the big tent and we'll leave them there so that people can come down. We'll separate them so that they're like 12 feet apart. And then families can come there and use that or the smaller pavilion. You'll have 2 pavilions to use, which is good. And then come October, we have it for the road race and then we close down.
Right. That's great. So
on May 7th is the date.
I'm sorry?
May 7th.
May 7th is the date they're coming to install the tent.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, so I don't know if we talked about that last time you were. Sorry, I'm hearing about the idea of running the day camp at that area. Is that familiar to everyone? I'm not sure if you would do that.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Well, it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Is that better? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wasn't sure if everyone knew that the thought was to run the rec camp from that location.
No, but once we're all set and ready to go, once we have come May, we'll put it out there. Nick is already working on it, and there's a bombshell that was dropped on us. Beth's not coming back. Beth Skadansky's been here for 30 years, part of recreation. She's going to help us a little bit, but because of her dad and taking care of her family like this, it's a real stress on her. So she's helping the young lady who's been working for us for about 7-8 years to take her place. And we're working to bring somebody else in to help Nick. But Beth has been she's like keystone in this department. She's going to be really missed, but she's not going to go away. She's going to stay around. And help us out as we need it, during the summer, but not full time.
Yeah.
And,
wow, that's a big change.
We're ready to go. We'll make sure everybody knows that recreation is going to be there. We're limited to 100. We're limited to 10 people in a group with 2 leaders. That's it. And I want to have 10 groups. So we're trying to figure out a way to space it out, and then they rotate from space to space to space. We'll have cleaners there that will clean the playground and stuff, the equipment. The reason why we're outside, we clean the equipment. That's all we have to do in between. Just clean the equipment in between each group as they come. So every station will have a cleaning thing. We wipe it down. The next group comes in. one will be football, one will be soccer, one will be, games, kickball, whatever, all kinds of different things, basketball court, everything. It would be much easier. The cost would be so much less than having to run it at Beecher, because at Beecher, talking with the superintendent, every single classroom has to be cleaned between each group. Every single classroom has to be cleaned at the end of the program. Every single classroom, hallway, stairwell, railing, everything has to be cleaned before you leave the building every day. And we can't even, and they were not going to give us the preschool area. That's too big of an area that they're going to have to clean and all clean, all ready for school. And if we use that, that would have to be cleaned. That would be 3 times as costly. So we'll probably have to just eliminate the preschool for 1 year, and hopefully next year we're back in business here, try to get us going.
And then there was the question if we think we'll be able to access the pool so kids can still have some kind of swim session. I believe you were still trying to work out the details of that.
Yeah, the details of that are going to be tough because we don't have locker rooms. They have to come over, like when they come swimming here, the WAC, they come with their suits on and everything like this, and then they leave and go home. Here, they would have to go back for rec. They'd have to leave here, come over from there, come back over here, then go back over to rec wet. We don't have places to change. If we do the changing rooms, it'd just be one kid at a time. It would take so long. There's 10 in a group. Still would be too long. Logistically, it's just so hard to do because we don't have anywhere to go.
So camp may look very different this summer.
It will look different, but it'll be a camp. I told Nick, said, are we going to do athletics? Says, no, not athletics. Not what do you call, we're going to do a camp, Woodbridge Recreation Camp. And the same thing, we're going to eliminate bus trips. Bus trips are going to be eliminated only because we don't know where we're going, if how clean it is, what it is. It'd be too dangerous to take kids places to go like that. So for this year, we're doing, but we will be bringing in like the animals and things like that. We'll bring in groups where they can come in and everybody sits down, and then we have, the juggler comes in or the magician comes in, and we'll do things like that.
Okay. So instead of field trips, the field trips will come to you.
That's correct. That's the way we'll do it.
So we'll have to see how this goes. Yeah, Mike.
Real quick. So the reasons to move it over to Pease summer camp, one is the cost concern. What is there not enough room just to do it outside over at Beecher? I'm just wondering, why move it over to Pease? It just has more outdoor space.
Well, there's more outdoor space. We have the three soccer fields divided in half as 6 fields. We have 6 sections of 6 things, so we can put 6 different groups on that position. Here we have only the north field, the south, and the south field is not in that great a shape. I guess it's a little, it's half of it is good.
Right.
So I think the area.
So my follow-up question real quick, and then I think Mary has a question. Does that impact any particular organization if we're not going to not rent, but
no, because we're during
some of those fields.
No, we're during the day. We don't rent out the fields in the morning. Recreational camp will be from 8:30 to 12:30, and then we're off there. And then those fields could be used in the afternoon when those programs, usually come on there when people are working, coaches are working. We're all set. Yeah, we thought about that.
Yeah, in the past, we've never given permits during our rec camp time.
Right.
So we never had to do a conflict.
Right. There's no conflict with other organizations coming in and offering different things while we have camp. So, but we're done, and the whole rest of the day is theirs. And we're going to close the camp, everything down to the public from 7 to 2. From 2 o'clock on, it's open to the public. And it's open for permits.
John,
Okay.
what would you do in case of a potential thunderstorm?
Bend over and I'm sorry, no. Yeah, we that's a tough one because the tent's is made of metal like that. Inclement weather, we'll have to cancel. We'd have to cancel. People can get we'll rebate them back whatever it is per day. You pay for the camp and whatever you pay for, and then we'll rebate back, and that's the only thing we have. But it never rains at Woodbridge Rec.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. Just like it never snows until tomorrow.
Every once in a while.
That's Mary's fault. She spelled her name wrong, and we're getting a snowstorm called Mery.
Exactly. Don't spell it wrong in the notes, Jim, please.
Possibly not.
What'd you say, Sarah?
Question about camp.
Yeah.
Will there be porta potties over at Bede?
Yes, there'll be there's already one there, and there'll be two. We'll bring in two for camp. We'll bring in one for boys and a girl, so they'll be separate. There'll be separate ones, and we can clean them like that, and it'll be just separated. But we'll have two more.
And like at golf tournaments, the hand washing stations?
I hope so. I hope we're gonna look into that. We're gonna get like the nicest ones we can get. So there's a hand washing station and everything. Yeah.
Perfect.
John, is there any flexibility or latitude as relates to schedule that would allow you to have makeup dates for inclement weather? Similar, so you have like 3 days at the end of that if it was inclement weather, you extend the program for such and such a time? Just as a thought in terms of how to make it up without having to give people money back.
Yeah, it's a good thought, but people might sign up for just the first or second week and then go away on vacation. Some may sign up for the third or fourth week, different weeks. And we could make the last week. We can make a seventh week since we're over there. We could start earlier and have a seventh week, and that seventh week could be any makeup days that anybody missed can come to camp on those days. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, we'll have to pay just the extra payment, but that's not too bad. Yeah, that's a good thought. Mark that down, Jim. Yep, we already got that on our notes. Thank you. See, Mika, this is why you got to stay.
One good idea every 3 months or so, John.
That's okay. That helps us. Yeah, we'll look into that.
Many a good idea. So that's great. And then the tent also, just to get back to the tent for a moment, the idea of the picnic tables and potentially use for programming, depending on what's happening with COVID and in the future.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
like another
we can schedule.
outdoor.
Yeah, we can schedule programs there. We can schedule like little scientists or something underneath the tent like this. And we could schedule it like, which would be good. We can do little things, add little things to it. Sure.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry, one more. John, do you have electricity over there?
No. The only electricity we'll have is if we have to get a generator that will hook up, and then we hook it up to it plugs into the unit.
Yeah.
That comes, because the unit comes with an air conditioning and heating unit. We just plug it in. That's all we have. We're not going to hook up to any other power units off of the poles.
Okay.
That would be a very costly endeavor to do. That's a lot of permits and a lot of things that have to be done. This is all temporary.
Right. And the nurse that you have on duty would have like any sort of access to any for things that she needs in terms of battery power or equipment or anything that they need. I'm trying to think of other supplies that they might need, but
Like emergency.
I don't know. I don't understand what. I'm not getting what you're saying.
is the nurse going to be inside the
Yes.
Oh, they'll be inside. Okay.
The trailer will be a 40-foot trailer. Half the trailer is the office. The other half is the nursing station, and they both have their own entrance.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, so they're not entering. And then there is a wall with a door in it, so that the office can enter to the nurse. The nurse can go to the office. We'll have radios. We'll have the radio communications. The radios will be used here for there. Jamichael will be on security, and he'll have his fire police radio that he carries because he's a fireman and he's allowed to have that. So that'll be on his hip the whole time. So we'll be in contact with Woodbridge Police, Woodbridge Fire Department the whole time we're there. Oh, there's that handsome kid with that beautiful hat. I like that kid. What?
We loved your idea.
We loved it.
We're going with it. Thank you for spearheading program. Okay. Any other questions? These are great questions. The camp and tent.
And if you come up, if anybody comes up on the commission with any thoughts or ideas for summer camp, not just tonight, but, think about it, just email Jim. Email Jim with like that, because we'll look at everything. We need help in every different direction, because the more eyes that look at it, the more problems that could be solved.
Okay, great. Well, we kind of got big here with the tent discussion, but director's report. Tom.
Okay, fitness center is clean, has stayed clean the whole time. Well, it's not being used, but we are allowing the Woodbridge Police Department to use it. We have permission from Brad. It'll be clean. It'll be clean and stationed. They'll be using it in the for their officers to come in and work out and everything like this. And it's just for them. It's a convenience for them to work right there before or after their shift. And then Brad said it was okay, and we can do the cleaning of it every day. There's no cost. Because they'll only clean the machines that they use. They're not going to use the whole thing. And it'll be only 1 to 2 officers in there at a time. There'll be no more than that. Other than that, the fitness center is closed. Hopefully we can get open sometime when this pandemic is over. The outdoor facilities, we have the Beecher North courts. We have the tennis courts are closed. Next year, we will not have a problem as we had this year with the skating rink. Next year, November 1st, the skating rink goes up. The town will be putting it up. The reason why we couldn't put it up is the fire department wanted to help me like this, but workman's comp comes into it. If they get hurt while putting it up, while doing it and working with the town's reliable. So we couldn't use any other help. And Adam is without workers. He's down 3 workers right now. So he has nobody really to help. So, but next year we made a date. We're all set. We're ready to go. And that'll be put up, filled up, and be there and just ready to go. And we're closing the permits to the courts 1 and 2 at center field. Courts 1 and 2 will be closed November 1st. The gates will be locked, and we'll only be open up to put up the ice skating rink and ready to go because we need that. But the tennis courts are closed for right now. Everything's down for the season. It's too cold and too icy. Program in sports. We'll start our Saturday program this Saturday. We have outdoor football. We have 2 sessions, and they're running good. They're starting Tuesday tomorrow night, hopefully, and Thursday we start basketball programs. So we're trying to open up slowly. We're keeping it, the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. We're just trying to keep it simple. Get started, get our foot in the door, get the kids out of the house, start getting more and more kids here. Saturday, we're going to try to open up gymnastics and basketball. Basketball, we have enough, but gymnastics is very, very low. We might not be able to run it, so we'll just eliminate the gymnastics if we have to and move the basketball up from the afternoon until 10 o'clock because we were running 1 program in the morning because we only have 1 gym. And we usually ran Center School as basketball and Beecher Road School as gymnastics. And now we just have the 1 gym. And at the end, it has to be cleaned. The whole gym has to be cleaned, every door, every bleacher, everything. There's no spectators allowed in any other sports, so you can just come in. We'll have somebody just like we always do, taking the temperature, bringing people in, checking people as they come in to the program. That's all that's going to be allowed in, people that are signed up to the program. And that's basically what we have. And then we're looking at maybe down the road a little bit, trying to, I don't know if we can, Jim, extend the swimming hours.
Depends on the custodian. That's
Right.
the thing is we're limited with a custodial.
See, we're limited with see, that's the whole thing with the custodian, but we've been filling with part-time people left and right. And what Brad has done is Brad and Tony have put together an ad trying to hire somebody single person that will work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Right now we have mixed people all over the place, working everywhere, trying to cover everything so we could be open. They're all qualified people, but who's working an hour here, who's working 2 hours there. And Brad wants to have one person that works like we had before. Somebody works Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the next person works, a full-time person or a part full-time person works Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Basically that's it. And then there's the financial report. If you look at it, our costs are down.
Can I jump back to something? So for the tennis courts, some seasons people play tennis through the end of November, right? Depending on what's happening.
Right.
It'll still leave. Two courts open or more than two?
It'll leave two courts open. And we have two courts at Beecher North School. So it'll be 4 courts. Instead of 6, it'll be 4.
And you chose November 1st as opposed to mid-November because
I chose to close November 1st because we might not be able to put it up November 1st. It's up to Adam and his crew and what he has and who he has like this. And it might be done part-time. It might take us the first year we did it, it took 3 or 4 days to put it up, almost a week to get the whole thing together and put it up correctly. If we have a shorter crew and everything like this, it might take us 2 weeks. So we're trying to give a window of keeping it up and then getting it filled and having it filled with water and making sure everything is right the way we want it to be. And then all the fencing is up, the protective fencing, so people don't go all over the place. They stay just within the skating area. That's why we're doing it. So we might not get up. It might not get up till just before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But we need the time to put it up.
Right. Okay. So just to build in a little wiggle room.
A little, yeah.
And then something. I guess this isn't for now, but something we had talked about is maybe trying to do more community walks or kind of to piggyback what Mika was saying. If there are ways for rec to be involved and maybe sponsor walks. We started.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying with sponsor with walks and everything, but let's say we set up a walk at the Fitzgerald property, and we come in and you're only allowed 10 people per group, and somebody, the group comes in and you have to be spread out, and then 20 people come. How do you tell? Who do you tell them you can't come in? Or if there's 12 people and say 2 you have to go home and 2 you can't. I guess that's the logistics of it.
I guess this is something for the future, post-COVID. So we have time to this.
Well, I think we got to go in the direction and think of other games and stuff that Smith came up with. Come up with things like that where independently get it done. Say, look, there's going to be a walk or something like this, and you can start here, and here. Sign up and go there and walk and something in that direction. We'll have to be creative. We'll just have to be creative.
Yeah,
get some more kids, Smith. We need your help.
At some point, we'll get to go back to doing some great things, but it's premature now. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead. I know you were going to go for financials.
Okay. So the current expenses were at 41.6%. Last year we were at 58.3. So our expenses are down. We're keeping a limit on it. But then if you go to the income is 36.5% as compared to the last one of 37. So we're pretty close. We're kind of within the ballpark, but you got to understand, summer camp is the biggest moneymaker of all. That's our big moneymaker, and we're going to be limited. Where we have 300 kids, 250 to 300 kids, we're only limited to 100 if we fill the camp. If we fill it, we're only allowed 100 kids, and that's pushing it to the limit at 10 per group and 2 leaders. But we cut back on our expenses for the camp. We're trying to think, and we're going to get our own trailer, so that cuts back, $2,000 bill right there. Cutting back, bringing our own trailer. We're only paying $250, to bring it over. So we're trying everything we can do, but I think we're in a good position. We're not overspending like this, and we're doing a lot of cleaning. I can tell you that much. We follow through on everything. That's
Great. Okay, good. And just in terms of the fitness center, are people wearing masks when they're working out, even if it's just 2 people? That's a requirement.
Yep,
Okay.
when I spoke with the sergeant, I told him they have to follow all CDC regulations of the town. They were in a mask. He said yes. I said even if a person goes in their own, they have their mask on. They have their mask on. You know, you're working by yourself. There's nobody around, but you have to have your mask under your chin or something, and you pull it up when somebody else comes in. You can't say, "Oh, let me go get a mask." You have to have it with you. That's what we do over the fields. We have, you know, I had Zach Young, Beth's son, working for me. He was at the fields, and he would just tell people you need a mask, and we had to change the signs again because people say it doesn't say on the signs. It doesn't say all town property, so we changed it. We talked to Jerry Weiner, and we changed it to all town properties like this. And I just asked them to have their mask on them. If you have your mask on you, you can, you know, when you're walking with your wife, you don't have to wear it like this. And then all of a sudden, people come, they put your mask up over your face, and that's what I noticed. And the last 3 or 4 days, I've noticed because of the cold, everybody's wearing their mask. It's a lot warmer to wear the mask. But we're making sure we're just following through, so people know we're checking. People know. People like. A couple of people sometimes says, you know, I really like this. I was there myself. I parked there on a Saturday sometimes, and I just say hi to everybody. I introduce myself and say hi to everybody, and I just tell them that's why we're just checking masks. And on the front of my truck, it says Car 77 Mask Patrol, Woodbridge Rec. As a joke, but people say, "Oh, we didn't know you had a mask patrol." It's like the it's just Clearinghouse Patrol. This is the Woodbridge Mask Patrol. But it's just nice. People know we're doing it. The parks and everything. I went up to Sperry Park up there and everything, and checked it all out and everything, and all the signs are up. And I met a lot of people on the way there, and they thanked us, you know, for what we did like this and having and closing the park down and keeping it safe for everybody to walk through. Because you can walk through, you can't drive through, but you can walk, and it's clear, and every sign is up that they know that this is town property, and you have to abide by the rules and regulations. That's it. We're all set.
Great. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
We have correspondence. Couple of nice correspondence in our packet.
Yeah, but thank you letter from Amy and Dan Batner for running programs.
It's a very nice letter.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah.
And then thank you from Janet Glicksman for the donation, that $500 that we did give them.
Yeah, also very nice.
We're trying.
Yep. It's good. It's really nice to see the appreciation for the work that department does.
Yeah.
So,
Just
and
get
then
the kids out there. That's important.
yeah. And then we have the field requests. I know a few more came in today.
Yes.
So I guess the caveat here, and we talked about this, right? People put their requests in. So it's good we carried on, right, as usual. In terms of the deadline when people usually make their field requests. And Jim, what would you like to report on this?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, do you want to know what the only conflict that we have, or how do you want to go? I mean, most of the requests are the same as they've been in the past years. The only thing is on one that Everson came in today, I think for his West River request, he could start on April 25th. Because a conflict with Bethwood baseball. Other than that, there were no conflicts. Than previous years, they're all the same requests, and in fact, we've had a few less requests this year. I don't know if the group's just not doing programs, but these are mostly the same requests that we normally have every year.
Okay, so the one where there's the conflict with Bethwood, which one was that?
It was the one that came in from Everson. It was, let's see, his request for West River. Yeah, the one West River from he asked from April 11th to June 6th, and Bethwood is there through April 18th. So on April 25th, he would be able to use it from 1 to 4. It just Beth would have some extra time wanted in April. Other than that, there's no other conflict.
Okay. So I guess we could make a motion. Great. So you would need to contact them and say that that's the only thing that would be available as of April 25th instead of the 18th. No, instead of the 11th.
Right. There would only be 2 dates that he can't use it: the 11th and the 18th. He could start on the 25th using it from 1 to 4. But
Okay.
Dwight has some extended hours in April.
Okay.
On Dwight's request.
Jim, can I ask you about the process? You always done these online applications, or is this something new?
What's with I couldn't hear? I'm sorry.
Process of how they come on.
Yeah, they do. Right now, most of them now do it electronically. They've gotten used to using the website, the town website. As you can see, some forms are the old-fashioned way of emailing them in, but most of them now are this new electronic system. Yes.
Okay. Is one easier for you than the other?
They're both the same. I've been used to the old forms for so many years. It's fine, but the electric ones, it's working good too. So it
Doesn't matter.
either or, I don't mind. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
I was just curious about that because I haven't seen the.
Wait, I couldn't. I'm sorry.
I said I was just curious because I don't know if I've seen a copy of the electronic form before. But they're equal for you. I don't care which one they use.
Right, they're equal for right. It does. It's the same thing. Right. Whatever's easier for the people, it's fine with me. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So shall we make a motion to accept each field request with the one caveat that Everson would not have the 11th and 18th available to them? I'm just trying to think how to do this. Any changes in COVID regulations? If for some reason there's an outbreak that sports need to be canceled again, then we wouldn't be able to honor these.
Right.
Now,
I think that's in the fall we put some kind of COVID. If the changes, if there are changes in the COVID situation, then this may cause the us to revoke the permit or whatever. I think that's what we had said, something similar in the fall.
so the same kind of thing. Now, Jim, do you feel like before they start, if that were to happen, actually, would contact each? How would that come about?
That's what we did last year. That's what we did last year when we didn't open the fields that time. We said that the fields were for last spring. We were in the same situation. It was closed for a while. So we told them it was closed, and then when we opened the fields, I think in late spring, I emailed everyone back again. So
okay, so it'd be the same process that we.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to read that motion and see if we have a? Do we have a motion to approve
Accept the field request.
accept the field request? Yeah. Pending alterations based on COVID regulations. I'm not sure how to best verbalize this. Someone, if you want to take a stab at it.
That was good.
That was perfect.
Yeah, approve
That was
pending
good.
alterations in COVID regulations. That sounds really good.
Yep.
If you ask me.
Okay. Do we have a
I'm
second?
looking forward. Whatever Jim said.
Thank you. Thank you.
All in favor? I don't see Jane. Is Jane there still? Jane, are you there? Are you? in-
She's there. Jane,
I'm here.
You're here. Okay.
She's here.
Think of that. At the motion about the field request.
I second it.
Jane, say yes.
Yes.
Well, if you agree.
Jane says yes.
Jane says yes without coercion.
John.
You're welcome.
Okay. Anything else? Any other business we need to discuss?
That's about it.
When is our next meeting scheduled?
February 22nd.
February 22nd. Okay. All right. We make a motion to adjourn this meeting at 8:15.
Hey Jimmy, happy birthday.
Oh my gosh, that's
Thank you
right.
so much,
Happy
Kristen.
Birthday, Jim.
Happy birthday to Jim. Happy birthday to Jim. Happy birthday to Jimmy. Happy birthday to you.
Is today your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday.
He doesn't look a day over 65.
I was going retirement age, like 65 and a half, 67.
So,
Who's that talking over there?
I think that was somebody asking for adjournment.
Adjourn, you got it.
Jim, all the best to you. Be happy returns. Well, stay well. Thank you for all you do.
Happy birthday.
Okay, Jim.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
For everything you do.
Thank you.
All right.
Who made the motion? I can't.
What's that? Is this a great birthday party?
Who made the motion to adjourn?
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Jane seconds it.
Second.
We're now adjourning at 8:07.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Good night,
Take care.
everyone.
Thank you so much. All the best, Jim.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody.
Bye. Take care.
Mika, thanks again.
Oh, you're welcome, John. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you all.